I think the first thing that went really well in my lesson was the visuals that I used. I think they would really translate well to kindergartners if they were actually seeing this lesson. I used food, so I used apples, cookies, and donuts, and I think that that is something that the students would be excited to add with. And I thought it was cool that I also was able to do animations for my PowerPoint, so I was able to click when I wanted something to show up. And I think that'd be effective, so there's not too much on the page at once. And it's like coming in as I'm teaching it and as I'm talking about it. And I also liked that I used repetition in my lesson. I think that if this lesson was being taught to kindergartners, that repetition would really help them. And we did multiple different problems, like for the same thing. So I think that would be helpful. And I thought my voice was very clear and easy for the students to understand if they were actually watching this. And yeah. And lastly, I really liked how I talked about the number sentence and how I was able to like highlight each part of it and talk about the parts of a number sentence because obviously that's really important to learning how to add. Something that I need to work on is I think I gave my students almost too much like think time. Like I had them like think about it and then I stopped my speaking. And I think that if students were at home watching this, they could get a little distracted and then I don't know if they would actually be doing the work. So I think if I were to pursue this in the future with real students, I would know their abilities and know if they would be able to handle them or not. And also something that I want to work on is being more familiar with the settings of YouTube. It was hard for me to get the captions and know the back ends of YouTube. So in the future, I'll definitely want to work on that. And I'm only in a group of two. So my partner, she did a really wonderful job. Her lesson was very clear, and it was really fun to watch because she did such a great job. Her lesson was on synonyms and antonyms, and she presented the information in multiple different ways. So the students were able to write it in a sentence. They were able to have like a web, and like they had one word in the middle, and then the synonyms would be on the side, and then the antonyms would be in red. And I just thought she really presented the lesson really well, and she was really enthusiastic about her lesson, and it was contagious to watch her teach because she just seemed like so excited about the lesson, and it was really engaging, even though I wasn't actually learning it. And lastly, what did I learn about visual learning? I learned how to use Zoom. I've never used Zoom before, so now I am able to like share my screen, which I thought that was a really cool feature. And I also have never made a lesson on a PowerPoint before, like using only PowerPoint. So that was really interesting to do. And I think that will be really helpful to know in the future. And it was really interesting using only like technology for a lesson because normally it's a lot of speaking, it's a lot of hands-on activities, which you could include. But I think it was interesting using technology because technology is so prevalent these days.